Game 2 on match day 2 of the Waterfalls Women's Elite T20 tournament here at Lugo Cricket Oval. It's the Bujjagali Rafters up against the Itanda Kayakers. I have the two captains here with me. Stefan Nampina, the captain for the Bujjagali Rafters. I have Janet Babas, the captain for Itanda Kayakers, and the match umpire, Mike Okot. We've come here for the toss. Stefan, you have the coin. Please give it a flip.
Heads the call.
Heads is the call.
Heads it is.
And heads is on top. Janet, please come through. Kongs, upon winning the toss, what are you going to be doing first and why?
We'll have a bat first.
In the morning, you had the ball first and it worked out for you. What has led to the change in the plan?
I think, again, the wicket is pretty, decent for batting, and would like to, keep up with our batting momentum. And yeah.
You speak about batting momentum. Which total are you looking at?
Anything that the bowlers can come and defend, so it's a good total for us, regardless of what it is. We look to put a score that the bowlers will be confident enough to defend. Yeah.
Any changes in the team?
Yes, Peace is going out, and Teddy Oyela is coming back to the side.
Thank you so much, and all the best. Stefan, if you had gotten a chance to win the toss, what could have been your decision and why?
I think I would have bowled first because it worked for us in the last game we played.
Now that you've gotten a chance here to bowl again, which total are you looking at to limit the Itanda Kayakers to?
Below 100 will be a good score. But if they go beyond 120, if they go beyond 100, but less than 120, I think that's a chaseable score.
Did you make any changes in the team?
Yeah, Beatrice is in for Tahir.
Thank you so much and all the best. Well, that is the news coming from the center. The Itanda Kayakers have won the toss and opted to bat first.
Tell you what, this is the perfect weather for cricket, and the two teams out there in the fray is the Itanda Kayakers, who won the morning skirmish by 7 wickets and at least 9 balls to spare, thanks to the big blade of Janet Mbabas, their skipper, who is already out there in the middle to open the batting, and they're up against the Rafters of Bujjagali, who won 1 and lost 1 yesterday on their double-header day. Today is the double-header day for the Kayakers, and they have started it with flourish, winning 1. But guess what? I am not alone in the comms box. There is Ivan as Kevin Amuge comes through. And Mbabas starts with one that she flicks off her legs that will go all the way down to Alumo, who will do a good clean-up job. And the scoreboard gets ticking immediately for a pair of runs as I welcome Ivan, Cyprian, Sajabi, Okobotia.
Not with the official language of commentary, but that's just a Lusoga word to mean what's up. Was it nothing? Yeah, indeed, this is game 2 on match day number 2 of the Women's Waterfalls Elite tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Kevin Amuge there opening the bowling for the Bujjagali Rafters. She comes into this game with 3 wickets from 2 innings, trying to make sure that she still does a lot of good work there for the Bujjagali Rafters. These two teams are Waterfalls, both from Jinja. Itanda and Bujjagali are both located in Jinja. But yet a beautiful piece of action where we see the national team players and the under-19 all facing off in what is a beautiful tournament called the Elite Tournament, where the cream of Uganda comes here to showcase what they have. And this tournament comes in at a very good time, where the baby Victoria Pearls have a qualifier in Dar es Salaam later in October this year. Whereas the senior will have an engagement, the emerging, including other main tournaments like the Women's Day and an outing in Namibia.
Sajabi giving you the preamble of what this all means and what it will culminate into. And the rules have been very clear. The coaches, some getting their career started, others like Jonathan Sebanja have coached the Victoria Pearls before, and they come back to coach the women's because everyone clearly understands in the setup that they know a thing or two about women. It's not about coaching them just on the ground, but what you do off the ground as well matters. Aaron Kusasira already unbeaten. He's the youngest of them all, and is unbeaten with the Kayakers, and now their unbeaten record is at stake in this particular game. The other coach, of course, is Ivan Kakande, who watched miserably as the Rapids of Karuma ran 6 feet under in a game they should have won earlier on today after setting 68. They were very good there. Proskovia Lako, Rita Msamali, the bowling unit, Fiona Egaru Kulume, and Konsi Aweko. All that experience counted for nothing.
Yeah, of course, the captain for the Karuma Rapids acknowledged that the few mistakes in the fielding, including the few lapses, costed them the game. That is driven.
Covers, but what a fine stop there. Mwanga Ruth with the fielding there. That's it off nicely. And as we end the first over, not so many runs off it, just the 3. And Ivan Supran Sajabi, take us through that team that is playing over the Bujjagali Rafters.
Yeah, the Bujjagali Rafters being led by Stefan Nampina as the captain. Kevin Awino, who was the player of match yesterday in the afternoon. Ruth Mwanga, you did see him field there at covers. Akrut Asumin, Marisa Ariokot, Kevin Amuga, who's bowled the first over. Whereas Alumo Irene, Sarah Akiteng are all in there. Vivinia Mary, who was the best bowler in the women's T20 last year. Kongayime Tracy from Light Secondary School and Beatrice Aiko from Sacred Hearts Secondary School in Gulu are right in that team, the Bujjagali Rafters, which is coached by the man who has been in the UK. He also coached Charity women's team, Jonathan Sebanja. He also has caps as a player for the Cricket Cranes. And now Irene Arumo will bowl the second over of this game.
Irene Arumo, yesterday when she came through, I had a small chat with her telling her, welcome back to the game. Sorry about the misfortune that happened to you in the previous years. I'm happy that you wear a smile on your face and you're looking to play the game again. And she said, yes, I am not quicker, but I am a better player, and I promise you I'll pick more wickets. And wickets has been her middle name because she's been picking wickets and a shorter run up, not coming from the 30 yards back there, but shorter and sharper. And she's has some extra bounce she's extracting from the featherbed of the wicket we have here in Lugogo. And I tell you what, these are signs that give the coaches something to smile about and something that will also pump up the energy levels in the Victoria Pearl setup, because they believe there is a senior player back who can push us to the next level where we want to be.
Once a bowling opener for the Victoria Pearls, Erin Alumo. Chance to catch, but Devenia Mary Guilty putting down that opportunity. During lunch, I had a chat with Erin Alumo, and she told me she wanted 3 wickets in today's game. She had the chance of picking up the first wicket, but she will feel dejected and undone by her OG from Olida High School in Nyamere Divine.
Nyamere Divine, very fine bowler. Certainly one for the future. And Alumo, they are not only talking cheap talk, but she is talking with action. Again, this one here is pumped up and over by Janet Mbabazi. The outfit been electric since day one yesterday. Will do the rest of the job as she breaks her shackles and her team's shackles with the first boundary of the innings. Alumo this time a little guilty, pitching it further away, and that one will never hurt anybody. Hit to the fence.
When I had a chat with Janet Mbabazi right at the toss, of course the Itanda Kayakers have won the toss and looked to bat first. Janet Mbabazi hoping she could keep the flow of runs and the momentum as they had during the run chase in the morning game. She said this is a proper batting track, despite a bit of a slow outfield because of the drizzle. She knows if they make great use of the surface, she has a chance of getting runs here for the Itanda Kayakers. That's why she plays a shot of strength to make sure that she gets things going. Whereas for Stefan Nampina, she did not win the toss, but everything moved as per her plan, because she said even though she had won the toss, she could have chosen to bowl first. First boundary this match there by the skipper for the Victoria Pearls, Janet Mbabazi.
It has been on fire. She only fell for 4 runs yesterday in the only game they played. Today, she comes back and she says, I am the skipper of every team I play for. And I will tell you why I'm the skipper. It's because I lead from the front. And she did exactly that with that beautiful innings, 33 from 21, to take her team across the line and win that 50K Play of Match award. Make that 2 boundaries back-to-back from Janet Mbabazi. This time round, enforcing the issue and just leaning back a little bit deeper in her crease and hitting it just over the top. That is some good innovation from Babazi.
Yeah, indeed, with protection just backward of the square at long on, I beg your pardon, at third man and feint leg. Janet Babazi is trying to make sure that she makes great use of the field, but again, there is a field change because we see feint leg coming up in Kongai Massey Tracy, whereas Asmin Akurut will remain at the boundary down at the long on side. Good thinking there from Erin Aluma because two boundaries have been scored in that area and clearly Janet Babazi is taking her on. So you need to try and make sure to protect field front of the square, a bit full and driven down the ground. Beatrice Aiko, a change, tries to chip in that dive, but doesn't quite get hold on to that ball. She gets some backup, but yet, again, more two runs taken there by Janet Babazi.
The fielding has been feeble, and Janet Babazi has raced to 10 runs already because of the poor fielding from her teammates, the Rafters. First Divine Nyamir, then Beatrice Aiko there with a dummy of a dive. And it's all not happening for them. Going the other way or this way, sometimes when you're fielding, you must decide early and field with conviction. Been very guilty there, and as the over does end, 11 on the board. And as Kevin Amuge does prepare to come through for over number 3, quickly, the team playing for the Kayakers, not many changes from the team that played in the morning, but resting is Shadia Gelingish Nablime from Mukono. One you should watch out for, very good player with a very good temperament. Nisima Peace is also out, and Hanifa Noreen, but the rest from the skipper, Janet Babazi, former captain for the Victoria Pearls, Nakisui Immaculate, former captain of the Victoria Pearls, Jimia Muhammad, former captain, Baby Victoria Pearls, all the big names in, alongside Mary Namiro, who has a very beautiful power game to Harry Patwa, as well as Mutoni Irene, Amongin Jen, Naomi, Nandera Immaculate, the lefty, Teddy Oyela, who is in the setup for the Victoria Pearls, Lona Anyet, who is knocking on the doors to come back and play for the Victoria Pearls, as well as Arrigo, Michelle, and Blessing Apio getting her chance to have a bite at the cherry.
Kevin Amuge back into the attack for the Rafters. That is a bit full. Near carries to the fielder at point, but just the tips of her fingers, and Kongai Massey Tracy doesn't get hold on to that chance.
One thing about Kongai Massey, Mwanga Ruth, and Divine Nyamir, very good fielders in the deep. In the 30 yards, their reflexes are a bit lacking, but in the outfield, they're very good, and with the also very good electric arms. Anything hit to them is always one run, but in the 30 yards, I've seen a couple of dropped chances, which is something I think the coaches have to work on.
Free notes you're giving to the captains. Okay, the captains should deploy them to the boundaries. Well, that didn't just carry to the fielder, but it is a good bowling area there by Kevin Amuge. Kevin Amuge just trying to make sure that she forces Janet to play on the offside, sorry. And that just didn't carry to Aiko Beatrice at covers. Kevin should have picked something there for the Bujjagali Rafters. These two, Janet and Lona, opened the batting in the morning. Beautiful shot there.
Mbabazi bring all the experience there as she continues to pile on the misery there. Poor fielding, gifting her free runs, and then her beautiful shots also rubbing more salt onto the wounds of the Rafters.
I think when you look at the way Janet Mbabazi is batting, the plan for her should be having a fielder outside front of the square, because here we've not seen so many balls go behind for the Pacers, because Janet Mbabazi looks to be taking on the bowlers and trying to make sure that she plays. All her 3 balls have gone at long on, so did long on right there. And again, that's not a very good ball there from Kevin Amuge, because that's ball to the pads. You could be dispatched anywhere. Just that Janet Mbabazi didn't just make meaningful connection. But the field change that has seen Irene Alu move from fine leg to short fine, and Malisario court go down to long on is really a good one because there's protection on both sides of the wicket.
Chance to touch and go. They take on the fielder right under her nose. Lona Nyait and Babazi. Very good telepathy between the two. They clearly understand their games and they're doing fine for the Kayakers, who are unbeaten in the tournament thus far.
Kevin Awino not very happy because that was taken right in the nose of Nyameo Divine. Harsh instructions there from her. She tells her we can't accept that. We need to be on our toes and make sure that we add some more pressure. But after 3 overs, 19 for no loss is the score as the Itanda Kayakers keep on cruising.
The boundary column has been kind to them, picked up runs easily. What happens there is very important for the Rafters. They must continue to show that they learned the lessons already because they started slowly and then they picked up the ante and won their second game yesterday. So today, Jonathan Sebanja's girls must show that they are continuing to learn and become better. Yesterday, there was a poor batting lineup up front when 2 slow batters came to bat up front. In the afternoon, they changed it all up together and brought in the power hitters early, including Malisa and the captain herself, the Dawn, who batted a little earlier than they did yesterday.
Bowling change for the Rafters as the former captain for Olira High School, Asmin Akrut, comes in to replace Irene Alumo. She has a shooter run up, but she makes great use of her shoulders to bowl that medium pace that is flighted and dispatched away, but straight to Mwanga Ruth. Not the best of techniques, but nonetheless, she stops that one. 2 runs gotten. Janet Mbabazi and Lona Anyait are showing that they are very electric between the wickets and they are making it count in the favor of the Kayakers.
You can see what Kevin Awino is doing. She's not giving any fielder a second chance to be sleeping. Here she says there are no bedrooms here on the pitch. Let's put in a very big effort. Immediately, Mwanga Ruth is told to change to come in the circle, and a different fielder is sent out there. In the air, Mwanga Ruth, chance to catch one. She won't be catching anything. The boundary, yes, there were some rains, but still good enough to make sure that the batters get their full rewards of the shots they're playing.
4 boundaries for Janet Mbabazi in this innings, and all our 4 boundaries have been front of the square. 3 at long on, and that is the first one at long off. Janet Mbabazi clearly backing up her decision to bat first. She says this is a good batting track, and she's making great use of the surface. Somehow the Itanda Kayakers are making sure that they get a boundary every over, despite the fact that Stefan Nampina is looking at a total below 100. But she said even if it goes over 100, it should be less than 120 before they come and give a chase. But Itanda Kayakers not only good on paper, but also looking so good in pitch. A bit of a short pitched ball there, pulled away. They are running very quickly, taking on the hand of Marisa Ariokot, and the 2 runs there added onto the total for Itanda Kayakers. The batters making sure that they keep the fielders on pressure as they keep pushing for those runs. Janet Mbabazi looking very composed in this game. She won a Player of Match award because of her batting performance in the morning, and yet she is poised for yet another good display. Chance to catch there, and Mwanga Ruth gets hold onto that chance. Janet Mbabazi not hitting that one quite well. Is a pickings, and somehow the bowling change for the Bujjagali Rafters pays dividends as Akrut Asumin manages to make inroads for the Rafters to see off Janet Mbabazi.
Janet Mbabazi looks like she's done the job but not done it fully. She could have played at least 10 overs to leave her team in a good state. But sometimes when you live by the sword, you die by it. And well, she came out there guns blazing. Now she falls over. She can't do much but create chance for another person to continue doing the good work. And in Muhammad, perfect foil because she's got a power game. 48 yesterday for her of 39 balls with 4 boundaries and 3 big sixes. It was a beautiful innings from the former Baby Victoria Pearls captain.
14 off 9 in the morning game as she comes in. Jamia Mohammed Abdallah, but that dot ball mark at the end to over number 4. And the 27 for 1 is the score for the Itanda Kayakers. Well, innocent for all the teams in this tournament, they were named after waterfalls in Uganda. Surprisingly, the only waterfall that I've never visited is Itanda, yet it is also in Jinja, same as Bujjagali. I've been at Bujjagali and I've been at Karuma down in Gulu. But it's really a beautiful initiative to see that tourism is moving hand in hand with the beautiful game of cricket.
You are some of the guilty people in Uganda who are not nationalists, all are not patriotic enough. You say you want, when they ask you, what's your favorite destination? You say Mauritius, Ibiza. Please just say Itanda because Itanda next door, you've not been there. Shameful, shameful.
But I've been at Karuma, down in Gulu.
Yes, Karuma, very beautiful. I was there last year for my first time as I drove for the National Schools Championship, the Girls Cricket Week. I had a stopover, took some images with the wildlife, the monkeys crossing the road. I thought I would see some of the big 5. That is good swing, good intent. Lona Nyait there playing dodgeball, and she's sent packing. The swing and the seaming from Kevin Amuge, from Malisa Arioko. There's some pace from her, Malisa, gifting the team a second wicket. Now, Lona Nyait, very guilty there. Looked like she was scared of the pace from Malisa Arioko. Another person who's not very comfortable with pace when she walks into bat early on in her innings in Immaculate Nakisui, who walks in at number 4 with the scoreboard stuck on 27.
Very, very guilty there, trying to run away. Dodgeball indeed. Anyait Lona could have just used her bat to glance that off her body, but she runs right and covers the stumps, and she is dismissed. The bowling changes for the Bujjagali Rafters are paying dividends, as now Marisa Rokot came to the other side and picked up a wicket of Janet Mbabazi. Then the introduction of Marisa Ariokot has made sure that she gets rid of Lona Knight. 27 for 2 is now the score.
Malisa Riokote with some good lively pace, beating Immaculate Nakisui twice now. First ball, she was beaten all hands up. The second one, she cuts, but cuts canes. There's nothing to cut on that one because I tell you what, it's already in the keeper's gloves by the time she played the cut shot and finished it. So good energy is there from Malisa, whose favorite pastime in one of my early interviews with her is digging. Yeah, twice beaten with pace. And now Malis are very guilty of straying onto the leg side. And that is a very easy pickings shot for Nakisui.
The morning Naksui had a strike rate of 300, and now she returns again to do some work for the Kayakers. But you see those balls that are coming on the offside are really being hard for her to get something out of them. And at the end of the fifth over, score is 31 for a loss of 2 wickets.
To have a chat there, Imi and Jamia, both capable of playing long innings, and they find their team in a very good state. At 6 per over, they should be able to continue the grind and make it count. Moving at exactly 6 runs every over, a run a ball is good enough because in women's cricket, 120, very psychological total. I've seen many teams crumble under the pressure. Chance for a catch. The catch is taken. And that is the end of the innings for Jamia Mohammed. Ruth Mwanga with 2 catches now. She was changed when it comes to fielding positions from long on to mid off because she gave her 2 runs at long on. But when she comes in now at long off, at mid off, I beg your pardon, she's taken up already 2 catches. Mwanga Ruth there. Jamia going big downtown, but the shot lacked power. Power failure from her. And that gifts her the Rafters, wicket number 3. From 27 for no loss, it's now 31 for 3.
After the second to the third over, you clearly saw that the Kayakers had a chance of scoring close to 200 runs, but things have quickly changed. The bowlers who have come as changes are trying to make sure that they do things here. I tell you something, when you look at all the wickets that have fallen so far in this game, starting from the wicket of Janet Mbabazi, Lona Anyait, and now Jamia Mohammed. And when we look at the bowlers, Lona Anyait, and this side, Marisa Rokot, all these have gone through Olida High School. They have all participated into most of the programs of the Sorot Cricket Academy, so they know a thing or two about each other. And that's why we see the fair tale is now continuing here at Lugogo Cricket Oval.
Akrut Asimini. Chance to touch and go. Quick run between the wickets. Oh, she survives. Living dangerously in Lugogo. You see there, trying to square drive that one there. But Akrut Asmin gives the ball a good tweak. And there's no run. The point areas were all beefed up. And that was hit straight to the teacher, Sarah Akiteng, at cover point area. Good effort there from Kevin Amuge. This time around, fielding body and soul and spraying all over the park to cut off that one. Good effort, good signs. You need to be helping the bowler. And Akrut Asmin has done well to stifle the runs flow. Wickets for her already.
The 3 wickets that have fallen so far in the game have brought a positive change in the body language. Touch and go, risky, but nonetheless a run for the Itanda Kayakers. As I was saying, the wickets that have fallen so far in this game have brought some bit of motivation to the fielders of the Bujjagali Rafters. On the chilly breeze day, The sun not so hot. Really a good day of cricket as Asmini Akrut tosses that one. Immaculate Nakisui plays it back out of the square. Two fielders give it the chase, two pace bowlers, but they'll just see it sail to the boundary. Confirmation of a wide there from the umpire. And those will be 5 runs added onto the total for the Itanda Kayakers. Not the very best of balls there from Asmin Akrut, as now she drops her head and doesn't go in the good area. And that races to the boundary for 5 wides.
That's a nice one.
Right to her hands, and yet another drop. Kongai Mase Tracy guilty of not getting hold on to that chance. I tell you that will turn again to haunt, because they really had the chance of getting rid of the dangerous Immaculate Nakisui. She will live die another day, and after the power play, after 6 overs, score is 40 for a loss of 3 wickets.
The power play could have looked better if they lost just the 1 wicket, and they had a chance to do that from 27 for no loss. 13 runs later, they've lost 3 wickets in quick fashion, and the ball will be given now back to Malisa Ariokot. I remember her making her first trip to Botswana, first time she flew out of the country, and she was still in P7, and she was in a school called, is it Amen? Primary school in Soroti, where the TV was turned on for everyone to watch their young heroine doing things everyone else would have been inspired to do then. And the word on the lips of everyone, the commenters, was asking, at the age of 12, what were you doing? And the storyline was, Malisa will be telling the world, I was playing for my country. And now Namilo Mary joining Immaculate Nakisui in the middle. Namiro has a very pure power game. I like how she shapes. I like how she plays her shots with authority. And that's a quick run. Hit to the dawn, but to the left side, which is her weaker point, her weaker side. And they scamper through for a quick single. And now, Namiro Mary on strike. Let's see what she can do with some good lively pace from Malisa coming through. Yeah, we talk about Scotland playing the Men's World Cup. Things happening this way and that way for Bangladesh. The men's team opting out of the World Cup, but the women's team very happy to be going to play in the World Cup. So it's a tale of 2 different worlds for Bangladesh cricket. And with what high that Pakistan could pull a rabbit out of the hat as well and say we are joining Bangladesh in the protest. Ugandans should start packing, maybe all head to Entebbe in the departure lounge. Look at this comedy of errors. Kevin Awino throwing the other end. The whites. Namiro had taken off like a tracer bullet. She's asked to go back in her crease. And they are living dangerously in Lugogo. These 2 different networks. One on Y2K, the other one on Warid. Both defunct.
When the discussion of Pakistan pulling out of the Men's T20 World Cup, which will happen in India and Sri Lanka starting on 7th of February, not so many days from today. I saw Pakistan announcing their squad a few days ago. They also have a tournament, a practice series, which will be happening in Australia starting from tomorrow. They will play 3 T20s before going for that party. But again, their decision to play in that World Cup will depend on what the government of Pakistan will tell them. But yes, Uganda should be
A big meeting for them there between the Prime Minister, Mr. Nawaz, and the Pakistan chairman, PCB chairman. They should be going to the World Cup. We'll have to see Pakistan play. And good thing is that all their fixtures were given to them in Sri Lanka. And if they make it to the final still, the final will be shifted to the Colombo, to the Primadasa in Colombo. So nothing, no love lost. And I feel that Pakistan have played Bangladesh because the protest was supposed to be in tandem. It was supposed to be a two-man army up against the ICC, but looks like they're losing that battle with the ICC sticking to their guns and saying, we will do things our way, not your way.
not sure what the thinking was for Bangladesh to opt out of the World Cup, a prem tournament where everyone just dreams to play. Uganda's been there only once, the previous edition, which was in the USA and West Indies. But nonetheless, a bowling change for the Bujjagali Rafters. As the teacher, professional teacher Sarah Akiteng replaces Asumin Akrut from the shell end. Creates too much room and plays that one over the square leg side for a boundary. Not a shot of too much conviction, but yet in the gap. And Namiro Mary welcomes Sarah into the bowling attack for the Bujjagali Rafters.
Namilo Mary welcoming Sarah Kiteng into the attack, saying, once you ball half trackers to me, that's the only place I'll be hitting you to. And why the shot, you say it was not hit with conviction, but why it was good is because she waited for it to make sure there's enough bat on it to power it all the way to the boundary. Yeah, playing with brains there, because many times we've seen such shots being hit in the 15 for those small, simple catches. Kevin Awino standing up to the spinner as expected. She was a little rusty yesterday, and she said, she told me when I had a little chat with her after the game, said, I was sick, but I'm improving and getting better. And her batting in the afternoon, when she scored the first half century of the tournament, 51 from 44 with 9 boundaries, another 36 runs. People were bowling in her zone. She cut everything that came her way, and she got a boundary every time she played the cut shot. So it looks like she's getting into her groove as the tournament wears on into day 2 now. Another short ball, but this time around not punished. It was on the legs. But because she's a lefty, she bowls it on the leg stump to drift away to the offside. Namiro being watchful, she knows how to engage the gears in her innings, and she knows how to hit out the last overs. The coaches were saying so many nice things about her yesterday, the two coaches of the Victoria Pearls, Teos Muhumuza and Brian Masaba.
I tell you, the only good thing I can say about Namiro Mary for the times I've seen her is her discipline. She's not someone you would find having issues with so many people. A down-to-earth servant of the game there, a product of Coach Habib Mugaula from Jinja Secondary School.
Sajabi, do your job, go home. It's not your mother's home. This is a place for everyone. It's a public place. And if you become a nuisance in the public, everyone will be pointing a finger at you. And you'll never say, or you'll never win such a battle when everyone is against you. So better you don't make any friends, but do your job and go home.
Namiro Mary, they are still finding the groove and looking for runs. The back foot and plays it backward of the square. This time round there is protection in Kevin Amuge, who will cut that one to just a single. And that single will mark at the end of the 8th over, keeping the score at 51 for a loss of 3 wickets.
Malisa Ariokot here coming through to bowl another. Still coming through thick and very fast. I like the energy. She's not leaving anything to chance as the sun continues to force the issue here in Lugoga as well, piercing through the clouds. The day is becoming brighter. Namiro Mary asking Imajot, can we take off for a quick one? 2 dot balls here to start up the 9th over. It's been a real working day. Little crowd watching this game. The coaches from the setup, the national team players that are done with their sessions from the cricket cranes and the emerging side. Good shot. That is top drawer stuff from Namiro, who goes all the way downtown for 6. That will put a smile on the coaches because everyone was talking about her power game and how she engages the gears, and Namiro erupts with a beautiful 6.
Power, intent, aggression, all displayed in that shot. Typical Namiro Mary shot as she manages to break the shackle for the first maximum in this game, sending Marisa Ariokot to the cleaners. Marisa needs to organize her lanes and length. She had given away 7 runs in 2.2, but now she goes for a 6 and returns with a wide. Clearly put under pressure, and now Marisa Ariokot struggling to find her rhythm again.
Tell you what, that was a beautiful shot, dispatched with disdain from Namiro, who gives no respect to the senior player. Solid, very much solid from Namiro, giving the full face there. I tell you what, she's raising up her hand and telling the selectors, I'm ready for the big stage. Please, whenever you're ready, give me a call. I'll answer the call, but I think I'm ready for the big stage. Because the way she dispatched that one with disdain, that was full authority on show. And from that shot she played, Marisa Ariokot has struggled to find her lines right.
And now the sun is out here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Good signs for this beautiful game of cricket. I tell you, when the sky is very clear, we now have a chance of watching the full game. We had the morning game being reduced to 8 overs aside. Marisa comes for a slower, executes it so well, and Namiro Mary couldn't just get it out of that block hole.
It's her best ball. And the coaches again, on my little chat with her, I was asking them, I didn't see any slower ball from Marisa Ariokot when you guys were in Thailand. And they said they were shocked because during the warm-ups, she was doing it nice and easy, but in the matches, cut. This time cut with power, says anything you drag short, anything you pitch up, I'll send you to the cleaners. And for now, it's the Namiro show as the 9th over comes to a close with her milking no less than 10 runs in the over.
When you look at the control from the slow ball, you would feel that if Marisa Ariokot could have just bowled those slow balls, she could have gone through her over very easily. She bowls it on the penultimate ball of the 9th over, manages to pick up a dot ball. But as soon as she comes quick and wide, she's dispatched. 63 for 3 after 9 for the Itanda Kayakers. The 2 OGs of Ginger SS, Immaculate Nakisui and Namiro Mary are trying to make sure that they bring things together here for the Itanda Kayakers, trying to stitch together a meaningful partnership. Their partnership is already worth 32 runs. Bowling change there as Devane Nyameri comes to replace Sarah Akiteng. Devane was the best bowler during the Laika Women's T20 League last year. She's a player for the Olida Cricket Club. A leg spinner. She was in her form too last year, but still growing through her game very, very quickly.
Divine Nyamer, a very good player. I think she must add that other aspect to her game to become a better fielder. So at least be a two-dimensional cricketer so that she's given a chance to represent the country. Even Achisui, once upon a time, a big hitting player, has worked on the game. Cut short, pulled away, that continues to drift away. No dive for Mamuge, and those will be 4 runs for Namiro, who is getting boundaries all around the park. On the onside, on the offside. She's taken up the anchorman's role in the innings. Nakisui happy to play second fiddle for now.
Tell you something innocent when you look at the current scope of the Ugandan cricket, our diving in all the teams is not so good. I think the coaches need to do sessions where they'll just have the players diving. Not the best of skills there from that field that covers, and that will again race to the boundary. Back boundaries there for the Itanda Kayakers, as the guilty party now at covers is Kongai Masetresi.
Kongai Masetresi exactly there, as if having said what I said earlier, saying those two are not very good fielders in the 30 yards. Masetresi Kongai and Divine Nyamer, everything that has been to her has gone all the way to the boundary. And look at this field setting. No protection beyond the fielders in the 30 on the offside. All the protection is on the onside. Fruitful over for the Kayakers here, who are drifting smoothly through the Itanda Falls and asking the Rafters to up the ante. As we take the water break now at halfway stage, score is 73 for 3. They've really worked hard to get this partnership going from 27 for 3.
We've come to the end of that break. I tell you, this tournament is sponsored by Raj Gas Pro, a company that is making sure that it brings safe and cleaning gas solutions. You can reach out to them on www.rajgaspro.com rajgaspro.com. When you support them and you keep them in business, I tell you, we are also in business. Leica Mobile and Cricket Uganda also part of the sponsors of this prestigious tournament. And at the end of that break, we'll return for the action. A 2 minutes break, of course, in January, we expect it to be very hot, was really necessary. It also gives the coaches chance to go and make sure that they put in some bit of instructions and some instructions to the players. 73 for 3 after 10, mathematical process to 140 after 20. But that will be if this partnership continues to get more runs. Change of bowling ends for Sarah Akiteng as she comes and replaces Marisa Ariokot from the Ginger Road end after bowling 1 over from the short end. I think you see the balls of Sarah Akiteng are dropping on the leg side and drifting away. I think you should just lose your anger and swing through the line before it shapes away or before it's bounce.
One thing that the Ginger players do bring to Ugandan cricket that we've seen it with the men, they play the balls very late. It tells you they watch the ball to see what exactly it's doing. And again, the man who takes the flies is Abim Mugaula, but the players also for the execution. But you see, once Namiro gets the gap, she'll always be getting boundaries because she's got enough power. And now if she adds some finesse to the power, she'll always be milking boundaries whenever she wants.
I tell you, Sarah Akiteng had the chance of being clever on that occasion. You saw Mary Namiru attempting that on the previous ball because it was drifting away and drifting wide. So Sarah Akiteng needed to just bring it a bit closer to force her to play it straight. She puts it in the slot, and Namiru Mary, who is in full flow of runs, obliges. Cuts that one with the power through the covers. Let's see how Sarah responds. Again, she creates room and plays it to covers.
Says you'll get runs from all the other fielders, but not under my watch. And she does very well there, Marisa. With the dummy versa throw, you can see the region at covers there. Amuge, the Don, Marisa. And Beatrice Aiko. With Divine at the boundary. Some dot balls now here. Bring a semblance of normalcy into her bowling area quarter, especially this over. Half tracker, this time hit down to the sweeper where Divine is. The call is 2, but there is no fumble from Divine this time round. She does well. Sajabi again, please watch closely. I told you about Divine doing a good cleanup job at the boundary, her and Kongai, and they do exactly that. And at the end of over number 11, the score is 78. Change of ends here now for the Military Express bowler. Kevin Amuge should be bowling from the shell end. The youngsters have been used sparingly thus far. But you're talking about the sponsors earlier. And I've seen one of the teardrops has the Nyakasura Alumni League, as well as Scoop Energy, Smart Energy, Safer Living. And I can tell you all these have one thing in common. And the man to give the flowers to is Jimmy Atwaire, who's put up the prize money for the ladies, £1 million shillings, and also giving out 50,000 for every play of the match. Wherever you are, Jimmy, the friends of cricket are really showing their friendship now. One of the coaches of the Frapper said, "You tell me those are not friends of cricket; those are enemies of cricket." But well, hats off to you, Jimmy, for the big heart and for giving us some of your savings from the previous year. And we will support you by buying the gas.
Yeah, Jimmy Atwaire not only moving with the teams, most of the cricket cranes support it outside of Uganda, but also putting some money. And also not only just being a keyboard warrior, but also trying to make sure that the players can move away with something. I remember when Jimmy was looking forward to put the sponsorship, He thought of giving it to the umpires, but he said, no, I make a lot of value if I maybe give it to the players. Jimmy, kudos and well done for the good work that you're doing for the cricket in Uganda. Not thinking whatsoever there from the fielder, Irene Alumo. Clearly the batter was back into her area. She just needed to make sure that she cuts the power off, because that nearly resulted into a misfield and more runs. But somehow the Bujjagali Rafters have gotten away after the break. They have gotten away of stopping the runs flow. The experienced bowlers have been brought into the attack and they have somehow gotten things together. But Namiro Mary makes beautiful contact onto that one and manages to play it over the head of Divine Nyameri for yet another maximum. Second maximum for Mary Namiro in this match.
Mary Namiro loves the pace, and if you come a little too close to her, she will send you to the cleaners. That is again dispatched with disdain, but another shot of authority from Namiro, who moves into the 40s. 40 for her now, of just 31 balls. 5 boundaries for Namiro and 2 sixes. What a sight to watch. What a good day to watch her get some runs. And then she gets a 6. And then she gets a single.
Tell you, if I had the chance of being a coach for that franchise which has Namiro Mary, I could have changed her role and maybe made sure that I give her a chance to open the batting and take a liking to the bowling when the field is not yet very, very spread. But Namiro Mary just enjoying her day here, already in her 40s. She is now moving closer to that half-century mark.
That is an uppercut. Namiro. The boundary, the sweeper is good, but Namiro, not the quickest between the wickets. She says, Imi, please hawk some of the strike as I catch my breath. 41 now for her. And the senior player, Nakisu Immaculate, has been happy to play second fiddle. She has just 8 runs from 11 balls with the 1 boundary.
Immaculate Naksui has always turned into a player who will give you runs, but will take her time to grow into the game. She knows the other side, Namiro is being aggressive. So she's just making sure that she gives her more of strike. Kevin Amuge being very, very generous there and giving them some free runs. The issue for the Bujjagali Rafters now will be that they had gotten a good body language after getting the 3 wickets. But now, this partnership has made them very, very tired and they look like they are losing it out. Itanda Kayakers trying to make sure that they build on the morning momentum where they won by 8 wickets against the Karuma Rapids. Tries to cut but doesn't make any contact. And that dot ball will mark at the end to the 12th over. Score is 86 for a loss of 3 wickets.
Akiteng Sarah will be bowling another over. She's not done very well. Done not even a third of the assignment given to her today. She was supposed to be the one to pick up the wickets as a lefty to limit the runs flow. But instead, she's gone for 13 in 2 overs at 6.5 every over. And here she's bowling her third now. Her partner in crime, Kevin Amuge, has bowled 3 and gone for 16 runs. And another misfield there gifts the Kayakers another run. They've been exchanging the strike very well here. And it's very important to continue rotating it like that. keeps you on the front foot. This one here, dipping in on Nakisui. There's still a lot of overs to play. And hopefully maybe we can see that 140. Because they have enough time. 45 balls left in the match. If they get 45 runs, there'll be 120 at least, which is fair enough. Will be the highest score in the tournament thus far.
Not sure about the plan for the Bujjagali Rafters. They look to be bowling out all their good bowlers at this moment. Yet this was a time to give to the youngsters to try and keep your good bowlers for the back end. Good work there from Marisario Court, putting Hubbard down on the ground and making sure that she cuts it to just one run. I think this should have been a time to give Nyamere Divine a chance to bowl, because when you bring her to bowl in the death, she is just a young girl who can easily be put under pressure. But now we've seen Kevin Amuga coming back and now selecting, still continuing with her spell. And nothing coming the way of the Rafters. Plays it on the onside. Not full commitment into that dive there from Sarah Kiteng. Has another run is taken there by Mary Namiro. Well, that single marks the end to the over. And after 13 overs, 89 for 3 is the score.
Seven overs left. Quick math to tell you, 42 balls left. The last 2 overs have not been very fruitful for the Kayakers. Of course, if you just into the live stream, yesterday we had an all-girls affair with Sharon Atuhula and Gloria Obuko standing out in the middle. Today it's a men's affair with the young umpires, Michael Okoth and Mr. Emmanuel Kamia. I played with him some cricket in charity, and it cost us 2 games. One game I was with him, and I was asking him to give me the strike, and he was hogging the balls and blocking. Sebanj almost never fielded him again as our captain. I remember all the youngsters from Cosmas Cheuta to Zephania Rinaitwe were all pointing a finger at him with Joseph Oyet. They were very young, full of energy side, who wanted every win that we could have gotten.
You must have been hurt by that loss, Innocent.
I kept asking for the strike, and he asked for a power play, and he never converted any of the power play. What's going on in his head? Manager, Coach Raga, Mr. Patrick Luinda, told him he has no transport for the day for him.
You must have been hurt by that loss.
we were chasing down to 80, and we fell short by 11 runs. Yeah, we got to 69, but only because for anything. Against the team would have loved to beat Tornado B. As of Charles Waiswa, Roger Mukasa, and for us to make the whole world to us on that evening. At the end of the day, Chibukamsoke was calling us rats.
You saw it coming. Not a man who could win and not throw some words to you. But now Krutas Minus have forgotten 2 wickets in this game. Comes back again and she's bowling dangerous areas and lines. She manages to force something and pick up another wicket. Meru Namiro gotten out of her crease. A stamping affected by Kevin Awino. And Asmin Akrut picks up a 3rd wicket in this innings.
The power player goes for the tournament is a 3rd highest score, short of the 50-run mark. She will feel dejected, but looks like the shot was on, but she went swinging and forgot to close the gates because just outside the line, and that is the umpire's zone. Umpire's call was out because Kevin Awino, smart, and she'll get a rousing applause from her dugout for a job well done, but Namiro will know she's left the job half done.
Namiro goes and in walks the left-handed Nandara Immaculate. Nandara Immaculate got a debut with the senior side during the Kwibuka in 2023 down in Kigali. Many of the Ugandan players have gotten a chance of making their debuts in Rwanda.
Itanda, who also gets a lot of high praise from the coaching unit. They say she can become a three-dimension cricketer because they plan to do things like Coach Chom Tukoro did to me when I was playing at the under-19 level, to change her from a pace bowler to a spinner because they say her fielding is good. She holds out immediately. The lefty, she was trying to play that on the onside. Instead, she hits it straight into the hands of guy Massey Tracy, who was starting in the covers. Nandera Immaculate, always wearing a smile like one of the senior players who is now in Canada, Frank Nsobuga, has come and gone in a quick flash. Nothing to smile about for the moment. Naomi Jane Amongin, 2024 player of the year young player of the year in Soroti. Also making her debut for the Victoria Pearls last year. Very good with the ball, can be better with the bat. We yet to see those little flourishes with the bat come through. But for now, there's a job to be done with their team stuck in the 90s now. 2 quick wickets have fallen. One seems to fall another immediately for the Kayakers. Namiro went and immediately Nandera has come and gone in a flash. The Rafters continuing to stay alive in the game, not leaving it to chance as well.
To face the hat-trick ball will be Naomi Jane Amongin. A bit flighted, but just gets to the bottom edge of Naomi Jane Amongin. That goes down to the third man as Naomi Jane survives the hat-trick ball. But somehow, Asmin Akrut has been the go-to bowler. She's so far picked up 4 wickets in this innings, making inroads and making things work for the Bujjagali Rafters. I think the change that brought Kevin Amugi to come and bowl, thinking that she could break the partnership. If they had brought Asmin Akrut, the former captain for Olida High School, of course I say former. She was with them at the Nationals, but then she completed her Form 6 last year. I don't really expect her to play another Nationals tournament. Manages to make things there work. And after 14 overs, 93 for 5 is the score here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. Yesterday, Naomi Jane Amongin scored only 2 of 6. But now, today should be the chance for her to carry her team forward. Sarah Kiteng returns to bowl. That's played up. Chance to catch. Catch is taken and another wicket falls. Clearly putting up a display, a player of match performance there. Asmin Akrut as she gets hold onto that catch at the deep mid-wicket area. Immaculate Nakisui saw Namiro being fouled by Nandera quickly, and she thought that maybe it was time for her to make sure that she accelerates the gears. She falls into the trap. Sarah Kiteng has her first wicket.
Curry. The wickets have tumbled here in quick succession. Namiro worked so hard with the Nachsui to get the team from 27 for 3 to 88. But since then, 3 wickets have fallen in very quick time. And now there's a whole set of new batters out there in the middle for the Kayakers, who look like now they will struggle to even reach 120. The teacher doing a fine job there, finally picking up a wicket in her last over. And quite a catch taken in the deep from young Akrot Asumin. Almost getting stamped there. Michelle Ariago, captain for Light SS in Soroti. She can bat. She sweeps, and that's an edge off the top edge taken by the diminutive keeper batter Kevin Awino. And see what the Rafters have done. They have said it's lights out time for Rasi and Lugogo with the sun shining ever so bright. And they picked up 4 wickets for almost less than 5 runs.
Yeah, 4 wickets falling cheaply there for the Itanda Kayakers. Ariago Michelle did not look comfortable anyway. From her time of arrival at the crease, top edge, these are pickings by the wicketkeeper Kevin Awino. And the second wicket for Sarah Akiteng in this over. She comes and she goes 93 for 7. Is now the score as Apio Blessing Noelin makes her way to the crease. Somehow the Itanda Kayakers have not gotten to a dream total because the wickets are falling so cheaply. Apio Blessing currently at Ndeje Senior Secondary School. Being at Ndeje SS means that in the domestic league she plays for Tornado Cricket Club Women, because there is some bit of a partnership between Tornado Cricket Club and Ndeje Secondary School. Coach Shama Mukaya Uzama, who is a former player for the Tornado men, doing now management duties and currently coaching Ndeje SS, made sure that the two are sleeping in the same bed. No clue whatsoever.
I don't know what name you would call that shot that she played. In my world, that's a nothing shot. And with at least 30 balls to play, looks like the Kayakers will struggle to play them out. Now the biggest of tasks has been left for Naomi Jena Mongin to do the heavy lifting with 5 overs left. And the score is still stuck in the 90s. 93 for 7 after 15.
Innocent, I think the idea and the plan for the Itanda Kayakers should not even be thinking of overheating. If they could look for singles and doubles from here on, they can get themselves close to 120 runs with the captains of Janet Timbawas and the bowling attack that they do have. Variago Michelle, Apio Blessing Nouri, Naomi Jena Mongin, I believe they stand a chance of defending those 120 runs.
Batting show, I must warn you, from the Rafters yesterday was good. If they bat like they batted yesterday afternoon, victory could be theirs because they chased 92 in good time, just 16 overs with 7 wickets in hand, with Kevin Awino coming to the party. Good pace there from Mwanga Ruth. Something off the hip, all off the shot, because the umpire doesn't call it wide. There's a lot at stake in this tournament for the young girls. I hope they can smell the coffee and wake up, because the coaches are watching and they're going to be selecting a new whole squad that will win themselves contracts as part of the national setup for the women. So if the girls come to this tournament and think they're just playing a season opener, I tell you what, they will have missed the plot.
2 dot balls there for Mwanga Ruth. Mwanga Ruth from Uganda Senior Secondary School. Uganda is a school not has played cricket for so long. They played cricket for about 4 years. But in those 4 years, they've won a regional trophy where they caused an upset to Ginger SS. And they've been at all the nationals. Flowers go to Isaac Sekatawa, who is doing a lot of coaching work down in Iganga. But tomorrow, action continues on match day number 3 of the Waterfalls Elite League for the women, where the Karuma Rapids, who are winless in this tournament, have a double header. They take on the Bujjagali Rafters in the morning and take on the Itanda Kayakers in the afternoon. But Mwanga Ruth still doing things here. I think the issue with Mwanga Ruth is that every time she reaches that release point, she tends to reduce her speed. Something I've seen with Irene Alumo. But for Irene Alumo, it's understandable she had taken a hiatus and she's just returning to the game. So if she could work on that, try and make sure that she can maintain her pace, maybe she could quickly pick some wickets here. But she uses a lot of power in her action. That's what I'm talking about. When she reaches the release point, she tends to reduce her speed. Chance for 2 runs, not the best of throws there from Kevin Amuge. And these two take 2 runs. The instruction from the dugout is to tell Amongin not to sleep on her bat. Clearly it was Pio Blessing was coming back to the danger. But now Mejina Mongin was playing that cautious look. Another wide from Ruth Mwanga, the second one in the over.
Named after one of the most ruthless kings the Kingdom of Uganda has ever had, Kawaka Mwanga. Ruth Mwanga. There was a name for the ladies as well. And I don't know if she's from the royal family, because I know she's from the east. Maybe Sajabi, you from the east, you could tell us a thing or two about the name Mwanga from the east. Is it the same as Mwanga from Buganda? Because we very well know the Basoga or the Easterners were products or byproducts from the central Uganda. The cultures are quite similar.
I tell you, when you read the history of the Uganda kingdom, it was a very big kingdom which could extend up to the present day Burundi. So clearly, so many tribes are a product of the Uganda kingdom, but the only linkage from the then Busoga and the now Uganda, and also talking about Mwanga, was that when Mwanga was sending instruction to the Busoga chiefs, he used to change words. When he told them to murder Bishop Hannington, he changed words and said that Nabagambye Mumute. And for you heard it as if Nabagambye Mumute. So, leading to the death of that popular bishop who grew the religion in that Busoga region. But clearly, there is nothing related to the Busoga region in that Mwanga. But Mwanga are managing to make inroads there, as Apio Blessing knowing Kurules of that ball, uncomfortable from ball 1. And there she goes. Ruth Mwanga gets her first wicket, and the Itanda Kayakers lose their 8th wicket. Irene Mutoni is now the new batter in after 16 overs. 99 for 8 is the score as Marisa Aliokot gets the ball from the Ginger Road end. Not anywhere close to that ball. Naomi Jena Mongin. At one time, Naomi Jena Mongin was playing in the same school team with Marisa Aliokot, and that's Olida High School team. These two last played together. The first time the girls nationals went to Soroti, and that was in 2023. A trophy which was won by Olida High School, beating their sisters of late SS under the stewardship of Iloku Esther at the helm of Olida High School team. That's up, but in the gap, should get something out of nothing. With the short fine leg up, now Mejena Mongin manages to play that one and pick up a boundary, welcoming boundary to bring up 100 runs for the Itanda Kayakers.
The psychological total is always important for any team batting to get past the 3 digits. 100 up. Thanks to that good use of the wrists from Naomi Jane, one who is fresh in the cricket crane setup and one who must continue showing that she can do the job not only with the ball but with the bat.
The plan for the Itanda Kayakers should be playing out all the overs. Of course, with only 2 wickets at hand. The only batter whistle outside is Teddy Oyera. But that is the only issue that I have with with Aliokot Marisa. Every time you hit her for a boundary, she'll try to overpush the ball, and that results in 2 wides. We saw it in the over. Anamiro Mary punched her out for a 6. And if she could execute her slow balls, of course now Megina Morgan can hit the ball, but she could just put protection at long on and long off and execute the slow balls. Even if she tries to over it, either she creates a chance for it, either she gives you a chance, or she will just play it in the infield. Touch and go. That one cut, but not cut so well, and another single. More runs still coming in for the Itanda Kayakers, and as the psychological total, all the runs that I will get from this point onwards should result into the winning runs.
Mutoni in strike now. Let's see how she handles the pace of Marisa. Long levers trying to go for the big, expansive cover drive. No connection whatsoever. That's the end of over number 17. 104 for 8. If you just switched on the stream, please do share it and make it go viral, because this is match the number 2 of the season opening 2026 edition of the Waterfalls Women Elite League, coming through live from the Pearl of Africa here at the official home, official in brackets, home of Uganda Cricket. Lugogo, of course, Cricket already has a new home after purchasing 15 acres of land in Nakasaja, in Gayaza, where 2 stadiums are planned with some social amenities. Place where we feel the game will develop and impact industriously on the community in Nakasaja just 17 kilometers. Beg your pardon, 27 kilometers from where we are here in Lugogo. We drilled down the ground there with Asumina Krut coming through for her last over. Mutoni gets a rousing applause from her teammates. They love her for the way she drove down the ground for the single. Happy she's getting the strike to the one who can get the boundary.
I tell you that applause for Erin Muton will not only give Muton some bit of motivation, but also try to frustrate Akrut Asmin. Because they clearly know that if they could frustrate her, she's been the pick of the bowler, picking up wickets so far. As she comes to bowl her last over, Asmin Akrut. Asmin Akrut completed her form 6. And you look at the change of leadership from Pulo Esther when she finished her form 6, it was Jimmy Mohammed who took over. Now Akrut Asmin is also out. Maybe it should be a time for Manila High School to get a captain from the classes below, but so many people there can really take on that role. Not closing the ball very, very well there. Naume Jane Amongin. Naume Jane Amongin's cricket has also been on and off. She is named as an all-rounder, but her runs don't come so quick. And she's also not given opportunity to bowl so many times. I remember even when she was given the match to play well in Thailand, she never had a chance of coming anywhere close to the ball. Akrut still bowling the good areas. Rona Anyait also being the other player who will not play for Odida High School again because she completed from 6 last year. End of over number 18. Score is 108 for a loss of 8.
Eighteen overs done. Irene Alumo promised wickets, 3 of them, but there are only 2 left in the innings. She's given the ball from the Ginger Road end. She was unlucky in her first over. Janet Babas was put down, and what Janet Babas did thereafter was hit 10 runs of her bowling, and the skipper never had another look at Alumo. But the skipper says sport is always giving second chances, and Alumo come wrap up this tale.
She comes after changing bowling ends, Irene Alumo. But a single rate away for Irene Mutoni. A pace ball affair. Now Majina Mongin also bowls some medium pace. Irene Mutoni and Alumo Irene namesakes have both opened the bowling for the Victoria Pearls. Unfortunate that Irene Mutoni was with the team in Thailand but did not get a chance to play any game. Her and Teddy Oyela.
It was always going to be hard for the coaches to give a note to Mutoni because she was fresh from sitting exams. And for me, how she made the pick on the 14 left me thinking twice. And I said, well, I am not a selector.
But when you look at players like Stephanie Nampina, Immaculate Naksui, they were given a chance to grow with the team. In my opinion, I believe despite of her being off from Irene Mutoni, in maybe the Tanzanian game, okay, the Tanzanian game was a must win for Uganda, but in the Namibia game, you could have given her a chance because she clearly had survived the fitness test and she had passed the fitness test, so maybe she could have gotten a chance or maybe to just field the entire game if her opportunity to bowl was not there, because she's really a player who's supposed to go with the team. So when you take her on tour, give her a chance to play. All the games in Thailand were hard, but you could close eyes and say, maybe this is time for you to grow. And sometimes we've seen players being given such chances, and they really take them with both hands and raise up to the occasion. But carrying you to the tour, a long tour of over 14 days, you carry water for all the days of the tournament, really. But she's still a young girl. I tell you, not in a way of bragging, but I've ever coached Erin Morton. Right in the years when we just introduced cricket at St. John's Secondary School in Namyenje, it's something you'll never take away. I and Simon Chintu, we introduced cricket in that school.
I saw that coming, Ivan. I knew where the storyline was going because I have heard this story 1,000 times. I am happy to be here in the Consular Social Treat 1001.
Somehow, not hitting the ball well, but somehow getting runs. Now, Mejena Mongin. Leading the score to 104. Down to the last scoring. Itanda Kayakers can get this one that make it 120. I would feel that they are putting the total that they can be played.
Already they are at joint leading in terms of the highest runs in the tournament so far. The opening game had 112 runs, and those 112 runs were set by the same team, the Itanda Kayakers. So 1 run more will give the Itanda Kayakers the 2 biggest scores in the tournament.
The final 6 balls of this innings will be bowled by Kevin Amuge. To me, Kevin Amuge is a testament of hard work pays. I've really seen how hard she worked to get back onto the team. Tries to swing across the line. The issue could be that maybe that is dropping on the leg side. But a dirty ball there for the Bujjagali Rafters. Another one backward of the square there. Not the best of skills there from Kevin Awino. We don't need to be taking chances. If there's no backup in place, it would have turned out to be very, very costly.
Kevin Amuge, beautiful bowling action, coming from a cricketing family. And has arguably the best movement of the new ball on the cricket queen setup. Hit down the ground there by Mutoni, who is showing that she knows a thing or two about using the willow. It's not just about the leather affair.
Runs not coming quick for the Itanda Kayakers, but they would be happy that they're getting close to the 120 runs, and they have the highest total in the tournament. That's for 114, beating the 112 which was scored in the opening game. Balls her right away. Now Mechena Mongin tries to go for a booming drive but doesn't close her gates. That rattles the furniture, and out of nowhere, Kevin Amuge gets another wicket to introduce the last batter for the Itanda Kayakers to the crease. Teddy Oyela will now make her way to the crease. Kevin Amuge to Teddy Oyela. These two made the debut for the Victoria Pearls at the same time last year during the Kwebuka. Chance for 2 runs, but Teddy will be happy with 1 run. They would feel that she could have pushed.
I tell you what, Teddy can bat. I don't know what the thinking process is. Sajabi, you say Arlington is a better batter than her. You could be right. Continue to make a case for her. That's exactly my point. MVP for the season gone by. A run taken under the nose of Mercy Kongai Tracy. Not the happiest of them all is the bowler Kevin Amuge. She knows every run will count to her bowling figures. And this is how the inning ends. 116 for 9 in 20 overs. That is the biggest total of the tournament thus far. Both scored by the same teams, the two leading biggest scores. The Kayakers got 112 yesterday when they won by 37 runs in the morning. And now they have set 116. You look at the batting card. Ivan, take us through the batting card.
A game where the Itanda Kayakers have won the toss and opted to bat first. The captain came in and scored 25 of 21, opening the batting alongside Lonanye, who posted only 1 run. Jimia Mohammed dismissed for a second ball duck. Didn't trouble the scorers. 9 of 2. Immaculate Naksui, a pedestrian 9 of 16. But Merina Miro was the batter to watch in this innings. 45 of 40. Missing out a half century by just 5 runs, but a health strike rate of 112.50. Nandra Immaculate departed for a golden duck, whereas Naomi Jenna Mongin, before being bowled by Kevin Amoge in the final over, she posted 12 of 21. Ariago Michelle fell cheaply for none. Appeal Blessing Noli in 2 of 5, whereas Erin Mutoni posted 5 of 6. If this doesn't go the way of the Bujjagali Rafters, they'll have themselves to blame because they gave away 16 extras, very many anywhere in the world of cricket. But in that bowling chart was Akurot Asmin, who picked up 4 wickets for 24 runs in 4 overs at an economy rate of 6.00. Sarah Kiteng complimented her with a very healthy economy, and she was the most economical bowler, completing with an economy of 4, where she's given us 16 runs in half over spell. A wicket apiece by Kevin Amoge, Marisa Ariokot, and Ruth Mwanga. We take a short break, and we'll be back with the second innings. park for the run chase. 117 runs for victory for the Itanda Kayakers to win and remain unbeaten. This is match day number 2 and this is game number 2. On match day number 2 of the Waterfalls Women's T20 Elite tournament here at Entebbe Cricket Oval. I beg your pardon, at Lugogo Cricket Oval. The tournament sponsored by Raj Gaspro, Scope Energy, Nyakasura Alumni League, Cricket Uganda, and Laker Mobile.
Tell you what, Raj Gaspro was the first company, but now there's Scope Energy, which is now the mother body. It's like having Starbucks and Texol in one area. Yes, and it's all about gas. They are our trusted LPG partner. And their slogan is smart energy and safer living. And I tell you what, also their gas is the cheapest on the market. Their CEO, their boss, here in the building to watch this one because it's also a product of Nyakasura Alumni League, of Nyakasura School, I beg your pardon. And it does put some money in the Alumni League of Nyakasura. Of course, we know the biggest Alumni League does belong to Ntare School. And the likes of Budo, who fly in their trophies to legends on their closing days of the league. As well as the Smart League is growing. Had things like the Ngo League, the Ndeje League, Marcos League. So, Jabi, I don't know if your school has a league.
Yes, Innocent. We do have the Buhosa League. Busoga High All the Students Association League. Unfortunately, I've never taken part in that league. But I'm really sure that my cohort is right there.
I've seen you, I think, take part in the Mwiri League.
I've taken part in the Muri League as an umpire, making sure that I keep building. Of course, Busoga High and the Busoga College Mwiri, historically, the two are a bit linked. Because where Busoga High was built, initially it was supposed to be Busoga College Mwiri. But because Busoga High is on a flat land and they wanted those places where they could teach the King's From to be on hills, it shifted location and there grew Busoga High. I don't really say that I'm associated so much to Mwiri, but I'm so happy that I've at least given back to the game and made sure that I take part in their league. Irene Mutoni given the honors to open the bowling for the Itanda Kayakers, making sure that she keeps Kevin Awino silent. Kevin Awino opening the batting alongside Asmina Akrot. That one not a very comfortable shot there from the edge of the bat. And Kevin Awino, who was a player of match yesterday as the Bujjagali Rafters won in the afternoon after that well-constructed knock, gets off the mark. She's at the back of the player of match performance. Innocent, you did say that the Bujjagali Rafters are a decent batting side. But 117 is not a walk in the park. It will need a lot of batting for them. Looking at the bowling attack for the Itanda Kayakers. Just one run off the first over and 1 for none is the score. Now Mejen Amongin to bowl the second over. Starts with a full one, and that is a bit edged. Chance for the wicketkeeper to catch. Jimia Mohammed sees off her fellow wicketkeeper batter as he gets hold on to that catch. Now Jane Amongin into the bowling attack, and she makes a statement right away. 1 for 1 as Kevin Awino departs for the Bujjagali Rafters.
Half century yesterday, just 1 run today for Kevin Awino. That is a tale of two different worlds in cricket. They say 24 hours can mean a whole new world. And that's exactly what has happened.
Out she goes, Kevin Awino. And in comes the captain for the outfit, Stephanie Nampina. Things not looking good for the Rafters. The captain for the outfit, Stephanie Nampina, still trying to make sure that she feints runs. Things don't look good for the Bujjagali Rafters. 12 has gone and they just have 3 runs. They've already lost a wicket. And now Erin Mutton, who gave away 1 run in her first over, will now come back to bowl for the Itanda Kayakers from the shell end. Starts with a full one, and that's driven through the cover area. Fine stop there from the captain. And just 1 run is taken. Irene Muton still giving the hard ASICs. Asumin Akrut still there, making sure that the Bujjagali Rafters pick up second victory today. A bit of a half tracker play to the cover area, just find the safe hands of Janet Mbabas, and no run is taken. 111 runs from 106 balls with 9 wickets at hand for the Bujjagali Rafters to pick up victory this afternoon here at Lugogo Cricket Oval.
Interesting, the chases of the Rafters are always calculated. They've lost one of their linchpins of setting scores, over chasing down scores. Ali, a half century yesterday, she did a lot of heavy lifting for them. Now the skipper has come early. Same thing they did yesterday when they won. Because previously the skipper came in at number 5 and there were very few resources, the youngsters at the back end. Today she comes out and says she wants to set the tone of the chase. And that's the way to go about business. Yes, Asmina Krut, 4 wickets for her with the ball. For me, primarily, she's a batter. And I'd love to see her concentrate on the batting. But every time she's coming to bowl with her part-timers, she's picked up wickets. Tony back in the attack, 2 overs gone, just the 7 runs, and already a wicket is fallen. The Rafters need to find a method to how they want to go about the business. And Aaron Mutoni, the Kayakers will feel they have a best bowler for the occasion with a new ball during this power play. Jamia Muhammad. Keeping it tight. The 2 batters have got to work. It's a working day, working afternoon. Kayakers have a 100% record to defend. And they are on top of things now. They set 116, so it's 117 to win for the Rafters. And already 3 overs have gone with just 7 runs. That is being very mean from the bowlers. 2 overs for Mutoni, very tight. And the one from Amongin, the one with the wicket. Here is Amongin from the Ginger Road end. Driven straight to the fielder. Lona Anyait. This will feel like a tour for Lona. It's been a long while since she's played in the franchise leagues and come even to Kampala. But now that she's done with school, everyone will feel she's settled because she also had some off-pitch issues. But she's looking smarter as a cricketer. In the air, who wants to catch? Asmina Krut holds out. The catch is taken by Blessing. Appeal of Ndeje SS, but primarily from Soroti. And the wickets are tumbling here even before they get into the teens. Not the smartest of shows from the Rafters, who are falling like dominoes. For now, as Malisa Ariokot will walk in and join the skipper at number 4.
The 2 opening batters for the Bujjagali Rafters have perished. Now Mejen Amongin picking both these 2 in her first over. She managed to dismiss Kevin Awino, and now when she returns, she sends Asumin Akurut for an early shower. Marisa Ariokot now joining her skipper, Stephanie Nampina, at the crease. Something you cannot take away from the Itanda Kayakers is the captaincy of Janet Mbabas, who is also the captain for the Victoria Pearls. We saw in the morning game that she used the 2 spinners to open the bowling in Lona Anyait and Michelle Ariago. And now she's quickly changed her plan making sure that she sees her pace bowlers to try and make sure they get the early wickets. That is a bit full, but drifting away from Marisa Yokot. She goes for a booming drive, but will be now Mejena Mongin to make sure that she gets that dot ball. Clearly everything working as per the plan for the Itanda Kayakers.
The two national team players for the Rafters out there in the middle will feel that the cross is theirs to carry all the way to Calvary. And Calvary here is the finishing line.
I tell you, Innocent, the Itanda Kayakers have not only kept the pressure of picking up wickets, but they've also made sure that they bowl good areas and just pick up dirty balls. Marisa Ariokot still fighting for a way of breaking the shackles, but not being given room to play anything away. This time round, she plays that one with power. Full pitched by now Mejena Mongin. And Marisa Ariokot gets off the mark with a boundary.
Fine shot there from Marisa, who unleashes the on drive to perfection and executes it very well. 4 needed runs, and that is good stuff for the Rafters, who needed a boundary because the overs were about to catch up with the runs. Look at that. 11 now is the score after 4 overs, and 2 wickets have fallen. Still not very good, but the signs will continue looking good if these two stay together longer and put on a partnership. It's very important that they keep the scoreboard ticking and put on a partnership. Mutoni, does she continue? Yes, the skipper says, do come through. Give us another. That will be her third.
Not in full control of that shot. But brilliant work there from the third man boundary. Ariago Michelle chipping in the dive to make sure that she saves her team from conceding a certain boundary. The fielding from the Itanda Kayakers will coming up to the party. And they're just making sure that they keep the pressure on. Good thinking there from Janet Timbabazi. Evelyn Milton is one of the good bowlers you have in your side. Let her bowl and make sure that she sees you through the power play. Because always the games are lost in this area. If you can't deal well with your power play and you concede so many runs, you give the opposition a chance. And currently it looks like it's clear that the Itanda Kayakers have won the power play. This is the 5th over and they've just given away 13 runs, picking up 2 scalps, dismissing both the opening batters. So if they could keep the pressure on, and maybe just bring on the spinners when the field has been spread, they stand a chance of making sure that they defend their 116 runs that they have posted. Edmonton still asking the questions. A bit of a half tracker, but it could be called wide by the umpire, Mike Okoth. Edmonton is still trying to make sure that she bowls outside off stump. Played with power through the extra cup, through the mid-wicket area there by Stefan Nampina. Anything to the pads, Stefan Nampina will oblige. Another boundary. It's not yet over. The Bujjagali Rafters are still making sure that they keep the pressure on.
Yes, early days in the match. And whoever continues to fight will be victorious. We saw how slowly the Kayakers started in their chase of 68 this morning in the shortened affair due to the unplayable conditions after the drizzle that was playing hide and seek. But 68 became easy fodder for the Kayakers in the end, thanks to the big blade of their skipper, Mbabazi.
Yes, I tell you, for the Itanda Kayakers in the morning, they took care of the wicket column, something that the Bujjagali Rafters have not done so far in the game. Pulled away again by Stefan Nampina. Should be another boundary for her. She knows they need to score runs in the power play, and she's making sure that she keeps her foot on the accelerator.
Irene Mutoli did well for the first 2 overs she's bowled, but third time doesn't mean she will be third time lucky. She's being hit all over the park onto the onside. 1 in the cow corner area, 2 deep square area, and still there's no protection because we're still in the power play. What can Mutoli do? She comes back with a beautiful ball just outside off. Fifth over has been very productive. There was a boundary to end the last over, and now the boundaries have started flowing all of a sudden. 2 in this one. If they get another, to be an over that gets them back into the game. Cutting, but she was played that cut shot right above the ball. Play it a little lower and put some bar on it. That will be 4 because there's nothing beyond the field at point. Michelle Arriego is not the tallest of players, so once beat her, it could be 4 runs, but that's the end of the over. A very good over for them because they move into the 20s. 22 now for the Rafters after 5 overs. Last over of the power play. Six fielders, including the bowler as number 7 on the offside in the 30, but still Marisa Ariokot finding the gap. That is power with control, power with precision in the power play. Since enough not to try to hit everything, the good balls, she's keeping them out, and she's going after the bad balls with all the venom in the world. Touch and go. Blessings appear a little late to the party. And the 2 senior batters, both donning those yellow helmets, which means they've won caps with the national team. You don't get that helmet in the supermarket. You get it when you go play for Uganda on national duty. Jamia Muhammad took a beautiful catch to get rid of her fellow keeper batter Kevin Awino in the second over of the bowling of Naomi Jane. And for me, her work off season has paid dividends. She got a good 48 on day one. She set the tournament alight with that beautiful knock. Now she continues to do the good work behind the gloves. When she was player of the match, she also had a catch, a good one, and a run-out contribution.
An area of concern for her batting is the word consistency. Quarter 8 in the opener. How she goes on with her batting will be the reason was why she might get to the team if she can catch the eyes of the selectors. Dot ball to end the power play. In that power play, only the 11th over has gone for many. It went for 11 runs, 2 boundaries in that over by Stefan Nampina. After 6 overs, 27 for a loss of 2 wickets is the score. Power play that you feel that the Itanda Kayakers have clearly won.
When the Kayakers were batting, they were 27 for 3, but that 27 came in quick time in 3 overs, and by the 6th over, they were 40 for 3. So clearly, the Kayakers have won the power play in both innings, in the first and in the second.
And then they managed to build back into the game, the Kayakers. Despite them losing some early wickets, they have managed to try and make sure that they again fight and put together a meaningful total. As soon as the power play comes to an end, we see spinners being introduced into the attack. Ariago Michelle taking it over from Irene Motoni. Played with power. Will go past that point fielder for another boundary. Width offered there by Ariago Michelle to Marisa Ariokot. And she dispatches that one to the boundary.
Michelle from the shell end, she's sent packing. Doesn't it sound beautiful? Michelle from the shell end.
It sounds beautiful. But I think they should have used the fielder at extra cover. Unless you could be bowling that area to force her to play either on the onside or to play straight.
The field I've said is like she's bowling wicket to wicket. Hence the protection. You see, all on the onside. And the last one is down at long off, where the experienced Imaki Nakisui, who took a blind of a catch yesterday as well, running backwards and then jumping up at the last minute to hold on to one, is fielding. Delicate stuff. That is a cut to perfection. Of course, once it lands, the speed increases because it swivels and curls.
One thing about this oval, even in the morning game where we had a drizzle, the outfield has been electric. Any ball that goes past the fielder can just be fetched back. Stephanie Nampina and Marisa Ariokot making sure that they still score runs for the Rafters. That should be the area for Michelle Ariago. When you look at the fielders that she has, Immaculate Nandera at point, Janet Mbavas at covers, Lona Anyeta at short covers, and Appeal Blessing Lori being introduced backwards of point with another fielder being sent towards the deep fine leg. Balls her right away. Stephanie Nampina not managing to play that one out of the block hole. It got some bit of drift, rattles to the stumps, and the growing partnership for the Bujjagali Rafters is put to halt as Stephanie Nampina departs. the departure of Stephanie Nampina will bring Beatrice Aiko to the crease, a proud product of the Northern Cricket Hub. 36 for 3 after 7 overs is now the score. As we will see another bowling change, the two pace bowlers in Erin Mutoni and Naomi Jane Amongin have been put out of the attack momentarily. We saw Ariago Michelle coming on the shell end, whereas Lona Anyait will be now coming in from the Ginger Road end.
From the two pace bowlers, they did their job, 5 overs for them. It's now a spinner's world. Lona Anyait, trusted by the captain to work her way back to the top. A fine fielder, she can find her groove with the bat because her technique is all right. And with the ball, we saw her give Uganda so much joy as Uganda qualified for their second ever global qualifier appearance when Uganda stunned Africa, beating Tanzania in that must-win semi-final. It was all about Lona Anyait. Her fielding was superb, and the way she picked up wickets just for fun. But now she's older, in vacation. Chance for a run out. And she recovers well. Imagina Chisue, a dedicated fielder, Imi. How that one went through her hands must have been the uneven ground. It's tough to fault her. She's taken many nice catches as well, both on the international scene and on the local scene. Drilled down the ground straight to Immaculate. The bounce good for her now. Just one run. Melissa Arioko looks like she's batting with a different plate because everything that she's playing is coming out of the middle of the bat, and she's looking good.
Indeed, Melissa Arioko trying to back up her power. But innocent, Lona Anyait was the MVP of the UCA Women's T20 League 2025. She scored 928 points, including a total of 21 wickets with best bowling figures, where she picked up 6 wickets and went for 2 runs in half over spell. She didn't score many runs, as she had only 84 runs, but 9 dismissals, including 3 catches, is what she had. And she made sure that Olida Cricket Club won the tournament last year, unbeaten, after upsetting Soroti State Cricket Club at this very venue. Beatrice Aiko now trying to negotiate the bowling of Lona Anyait. Player who will control the ball very, very well. She just at her advanced level of certificate examinations. Run out chance, and Beatrice Aiko was miles away. Good work there done by the wicket keeper, Jimia Mohammed, and Ariago Michelle backward of point. And Beatrice Aiko, who was going for a touch and go, perishes. Half of the batters for the Bujjagali Rafters have gone back to the heart. And the departure of Aiko Beatrice will see Master Tracy Kongai, student at Late Secondary School, make her way to the crease. Kongai Master Tracy, for the things I've seen here, she's one of those powerful batters who can hit the ball. But a lot of batting responsibility rests on these two, because after these two, we'll be seeing the bowlers to start making their way to the crease.
Spinners have continued to stifle the runs flow for the Rafters. They were looking good. That partnership between Melissa and the Don, Stefan Nampina, their skipper. But once the Don fell, all of it has been left to Melissa to do. And let's see how she tackles Michelle from the shell end.
Michelle to Melissa. Michelle was the captain for Late Secondary School as they reached the finals of the Nationals last year. But they didn't become twice lucky, having won the Nationals in 2024, where they upset Olida High School in both the regionals of the Eastern region And the Nationals, that team which was led by Apollote Patricia, a former player for the baby Victoria Pals. And now Michelle Ariago still negotiating to get the wicket of her schoolmate Kongai Masetresi.
Kongai, good physique for a batter. I hope she can hit some out of the park here to give the little crowd here some joy, as well as her teammates in the dugout. Yes, she gets bat onto it, but will only be one run.
For the times I've seen Kongai Masetresi bat, she has the power and the shots. The only issue with her is the selection. Sometimes she fails to know which shot to play where. If another chance put down there by the wicket keeper, all the fielders on the offside were interested, but Jimia Mohammed not getting hold onto that chance. We'll still speaking about Masetresi. For the times I've seen her, she doesn't know when the field is in, how do I go up and over, yet it's a shot she can play. So if she can improve on her choice of shots, she will score many runs. Half-hearted efforts there from Mary Namilo, who was caught napping backward of the square. And somehow, Malisa Ariokot, who is still forcing things for the Rafters, picks up another boundary.
Malisa Ariokot says, with me still out here in the middle, I'm going to give it my best shot. And her best shot is to go after the bowling. The runs are coming, but the wickets are falling. 44 now. That is a very good ball from Michelle. Fuller, straighter. That's a good comeback ball to end the over. 9 overs down now. 44 for 4. Lona Anyait back from the Ginger Road end. If the Rafters don't win this one, they'll be the team that has played the most games, and their record will be reading 1-2, not in their favor. What a shot she has played there. No fit movement whatsoever from Tracy Kongai. Stone dead. Solid defense. Not what you desire to see in a T20. I don't know if they feel they have enough time. Flight on offer. She hits it very hard. And little Lona will be feeling a little pain.
Innocent, this game is still in reach for the Bujjagali Rafters. 72 runs from 63 balls at an asking rate of 6.55. They could negotiate boundaries. Maybe they have a chance. This time round, she manages to put it into the gap. Masetresi Kongai. She manages to rotate strike to bring Marisa Yokot on strike. Marisa Yokot, 22 of 18 with a strike rate of 122. She's trying to make sure that she keeps the game close. Unfortunately, she did not get support from the batters that came early. Kevin Awino departing for just 1 and Akurut departing for only 3. It was only Stefan Nampina with a brisk of 16 of 16. Goes to sweep. And the umpire raises up the finger. Straight ball there from Lona Anyait. Malisa Arioko tries force it on the onside. And there she perishes.
Wickets continue to fall here. Last over to the halfway of the second innings. Manisa goes to sweep a straight one, and the umpire's job is very easy. Algiers that one there. Plump in front, leg before wicket. Mwanga Ruth walking out to bat at number 7 now. And the umpires duly do call the water break. Tough time here for the Rafters. The Kayakers all over them. Different tails. The East dominating the North in terms of the Rapids because the Kayakers are from Itanda and the Rapids, Karuma. It looks like Kayakers will be taking the day to be 3 out of 3, a perfect score of 100%.
Smart Energy, Safe Living, Scope Energy being part of the sponsors of this tournament. Raj Gas Pro, your trusted LPG partner. Leica Mobile and Cricket Uganda, all being part of the sponsors of this prestigious tournament. The teams taking a 2 minutes break. This game is live from Logogo Cricket Oval. The unbeaten Itanda Kayakers taking on the Bujjagali Rafters. In terms of waterfalls, this could be a Ginger derby, as these two waterfalls are both located in Ginger. Last ball of over number 10, 71 from 10.1. The new batter there, Ruth Mwanga, plays that on the back foot for just a dot. And that marks the end of over number 10. 71 from 60 balls is now the equation as we get done with the 10 overs of this run chase. 46 for 5 is the score for the Bujjagali Rafters. It's becoming a matter of time, but you'd feel that Itanda Kayakers is still ahead of things here at Lugogo. Another bowling change there for the Itanda Kayakers as Teddy Oyela replaces Ariago Michel. Played back to her hands, and Teddy Oyela, out of nothing, manages to get hold on that catch to pick up a wicket. I told you, for Kongai Mase Tracy, she has the power and the skill, but her choices don't really make her a very good batter.
Kongai Tracy, mercy, being full of mercy there as she shakes hands with Teddy Oyela. Teddy says, thank you, but please go take a shower. Your business for the day is done. Wicket number 6 falls. Tracy goes, and Divine Nyamer walks in with her team needing divine intervention to inch ever so close, anywhere near the conversation of victory.
Divine Nyamer Gabriela, very, very well known for her leg spin, but she will need to do a batting out of her skin. She is to help the Rafters to go close to victory. The Kayakers still keeping the pressure on, and they have still made sure that they get the wickets. Jonathan Sebanja will feel undone. 117, 120, a run, a ball is something achievable, but nothing much coming from the top order, and somehow his side has failed to stitch together a meaningful partnership. Teddy Oyela, who got her debut last year at the Kwebuka, made part of the team that went to Thailand, the Victoria Pearls team. Unfortunate that she did not get a chance to step on the pitch in that tournament. They need to win nearly all the games. And somehow the coach felt it was not time to rush her. Still asking the question is there. Goes on one need to sweep, but doesn't make contact. Wide.
Oyela there, a wide against the run of play. Big appeal. Teddy is taking all the pace off and saying, Divine, go on, show me your big muscles. Hit me out of the park if you dare. And that's why you see, whatever they miss is landing on the pads. And the fielding side, the Kayakers are interested. Hit straight back to her. You won't be getting runs off Teddy. She's a fine bowler. I beg your pardon, fine fielder off her bowling. Like she's done twice in the over. One was a catch, but look at that scoreboard. Miserable if you're from the Rafters of Bujjagali, but it's everything that you ever dreamt of if you're from the Itanda Kayakers. 46 for 6 after 11.
$69 from 54 for the Rafters to pick victory. The required run rate now moving from 6 to 7. 7.67 to be specific, meaning anything well done in this game. We'll see the asking rate even go to 10, and Immaculate Nandela will be the bowling change, replacing Lona Anyait. Immaculate Nandela was the MVP during the Girls Nationals last year in Gulu. A spell in a performance that even included a fifer and a 6-4 during that Nationals. Left-hander, not a very long run-up, but good control. She completed her Form 4 last year. Clearly tells why she was a bit out of action. Because she said that in her schedule, since she had fine art as a subject, it's a subject which doesn't need a lot of reading, but it needs a lot of practice. She got her debut with the senior team in 2023, still during the Kwebuka. First had an opportunity to travel with the team when the team went to the I Can We Can Academy in Omtex. Later on went with the team for the African Games, but didn't appear on pitch. And when the team went for the Kwibuka, she went with the team. She played 2 under-19 tournaments for the Baby Victoria Pearls, including one in Botswana in 2022 and one in Kigali in 2024. Immaculate Nandera.
She's still under 19.
The answer is no.
But she's just in senior 4 VAC. I remember I played under 19 cricket in my senior 6.
You might not be coming from the same place with Nandera Immaculate. In some of the places, including where I come from, the Eastern, we used to study when we were a bit old. I remember one of our friends just asked that when he was in nursery, he could go back home and breastfeed. Wide there from Nandera Immaculate. Mwanga Ruth. Not good, not too much control in that shot. And another dot ball. Many dot balls there for the Kayakers, making sure that they keep themselves in the game. Another one played down the ground, but straight long on, straight to Marina Miro for just a single. Somehow the Itanda Kayakers have made sure that they dry up the boundaries. And the Bujjagali Rafters. And now we see the game sailing out of their hands. Jonathan Sebanja at the sidelines, you clearly see him talking to the senior players that he has on the team. That is full. But Riela Devane Nyamere not hitting it anywhere. Just a single. And that will mark at the end over number 12. 53 for 6 is now the score after 12 overs.
The teaching never stops. I feel mercy and sorry for the coaches. Coaching is like the gospel truth in the Bible. You've got to preach it every day. It's the same word you're preaching. So the coaches, they've got to continue imparting the same knowledge to the players to make them understand and learn the game. Jonathan Sebanja has said to watch the game standing with the skipper to continue showing him the dynamics of the modern game. And she's a new skipper, learning on the job. Has never been tougher. Kayakers on top. Teddy Oyela given the ball again from the shell end. A wicket in her first over. Can she pick up another?
Teddy Oyela played for your former for the sister club to your former club, Charity Cricket Club Women. Studied for Masaka Secondary School for 6 years. She has loyalty to that side, but currently in the domestic league, she does business with Tornado Bees Cricket Club, having won the MVP in the 2023 season. And I think some of the reasons as to why she maybe didn't win it again in 2024 was that at the start of the league, the women's team had traveled to Rwanda for the Kwibuka. So they missed so many weekends because after the tournament in Rwanda, of course, not a very good tournament, not a very good outing for the Victoria Pearls, where they finished third after beating the hosts in that bronze match. When the players came back, one of the things that they were told by the coaches is try and make sure that they somehow stay away from the game for some time so they can refocus again. As in that same year, last year, there was another qualifier to the Globals that happened in Namibia. So it made that most of the players who were in that team that went to Rwanda, did not play too many games in the league. Not too much power in her shots. Mwanga Ruth, the Oera, just balls in the good areas. You miss a hit, is her bowling plan.
Ruth, one of those finds from Eastern Uganda. You talked about her and Coach Isaac. The work he's been doing. I've seen Isaac also volunteer as an umpire. And that's the way you give back to the game. As you see the end of 13th over. Scoreboard still stuck for the Rafters.
$57 for 6 after 13. 7 more overs to play in this match. Itanda Kayakers still striding to victory. And another immaculate back with the ball for the Kayakers.
Replacing ball to start things up here. The two ladies playing franchise cricket, I think, for the first time in this elite league. The elite league. Divine Nyamel and a beautiful named Mwanga.
Blessing Noin Apio is also leg spinner. Not sure why she's not been given opportunity to dart it around by the skipper, Janet Mbabas. She did her primary from Joy Kim Primary School, a school located in Komi. But now it will be Immaculate Nandela still through her overs. Janet Mbabas is also a bowler, but she's made sure that she gives opportunity to the young little girls to see how they grow up in their game. Rana Anyait taking time with the ball in her arms and giving a chance to Gabriela and Mwanga to pick up the second run. No boundaries coming for the Bujjagali Rafters. It means that every over that goes by, asking rate shoots up. The same round, some power there from that shot by Divine. Not a first time pick up there from Lona Anyait. If you had another quick pair in the middle, they could have gotten a chance of picking up another run.
But look at that strong arm from Lona. She threw it from the boundary to the keeper's gloves, the other end, across the wicket. You don't want to take on such an arm. You'll be knowing something that me and you don't know. Tempting the devil. Try and sneak around the second one.
That should
Before Teddy Oyela, please, madam, give up already. You will never catch up. Outfield has been faithful and playing good for the batters who've gotten full reward of their shots.
the boundary brings up 66 runs for 6 after 14 overs, and 51 needed from 36 is now the equation for the Rafters. Asking rate now 8.92. We called it, and there it is. Appear Blessing Noin given an opportunity to bowl in this game, replacing Teddy Oyera. These two both wearing bandanas. bandana. Coach Simon Chitomukon is one of those people who don't like bandanas.
It's the thinking.
What the thinking is, but somehow I also hate the bandanas. But for schools like Gayaza High School, I think it's a culture. The times you could see the entire team having bandanas on their head.
It's part of the yes. And what is your thinking, you and Simon? Why do you hate the bandanas?
Sometimes the players wearing the bandanas, they look disrespectful. Something like that.
What they use to keep their hair in one place, don't be all over the place as they play.
Of course, in Mukono, one of the cultures we don't really allow the players to plait hair, because plaiting hair comes with so many inconveniences in wearing the gears. Players take a lot of time organizing the hair, so because we need them a lot focused, most of the players that are playing the game are really advised to trim. Not the best of touches there from Janet Mbabazi, and that should clearly run away. They have the game, but the fielding has to be up to the standards for players like Janet Mbabazi, who have really been there and seen it all. Boundary coming out of nowhere there by Mwanga Ruth. What should have been a single results into a 4.
We heard it from the man from Mukono. Stringent rules if you play the game in Mukono and you are a lady. Don't go there thinking it's all going to be about style and poise. You've got to follow the culture, the area code. Now I clearly know why Mutoni's hair is like that, why Galengish's hair is like that. All these youngsters from Mukono. Full face. Teddy Oyera chases, and yes, she will fail. Attempt in vain. It's 4 runs. Back-to-back boundaries there. In the over.
Unacceptable fielding standards being displayed by the players of the Victoria Pearl. Nearly 2 full-hearted efforts from both Janet Mbabazi and Teddy Oyela could have saved those boundaries, in my opinion, anyway. But nonetheless, Ruth Mwanga making great use of her bat and taking a liking at the bowling of Blessing Noel in appeal. Bit of an awkward bounce there, but Janet Mbabazi was equal to the challenge. Looks like Mwanga Ruth was waiting for this over. She's already gotten 8 runs, back boundaries. Still looking to force it into the gap. Flighted and pulled away. Not good contact, but that should have gone to the boundary. They are pushing for 2, and they should be home safe and dry. That double marks the end of the 14th over. 77 for a loss of 6 wickets is now the score here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. This is match day 2 of the Waterfalls Women T20 Elite League happening here at Lugogo Cricket Oval. This tournament is sponsored by Laika Mobile, Cricket Uganda, Raj Gas Pro, Scope Energy. If you're supporting these companies, Scope Energy, Raj Gas Pro, and Laika Mobile, you're supporting cricket and we are in business. Tomorrow, action continues, a double-header for the Karuma Rapids as they take on the Bujjagali Rafters in the morning and the Itanda Kayakers in the afternoon. The Rapids are the only winless side in the tournament thus far. Now there is another bowling change. Michelle Ariago replaces Nandera Immaculate from the Ginger Road end. $77 for 6. Very full, but played up in there. Who wants it? No one to catch. Looks like that was dipping in. And that
He might given it a chance. Maybe she could have held on because she stayed here rooted. And you know, her athleticism, she could have maybe have gotten there and taken that beauty of a catch.
yeah, Imi is one of the players who can take those running catches. So okay, if she had given that efforts, maybe she could have taken that catch. But when you look at the way the Itanda Kayakers are playing, they already have victory in sight. They're just going through the routines. Played with power. Down to long off to find Lona Anyait. Another poor throw, uncalled for there by Lona Anyait. And another run taken. Down the ground for another single. I feel that somehow this partnership has come in a bit late, but these two have tried to make sure that they still play and get some runs. Full and dispatched. Good work there from Teddy Oera to cut that one to just a single. Play down the ground for another single, and that single will mark at the end of the over. 83 for 6 after 15 is now the score. The equation for the Bujjagali Rafters pick up victory is 34 runs from 24 balls. With 4 wickets at hand. Mwanga Ruth, 26 of 21. Defenya Mary, 7 of 13. As there is a bowling change as Apio Blessing Noelin replaces, I beg your pardon, Lona Anyait replaces Apio Blessing. Dot ball to start off over number 17. That one played backward of the square for another single. Ruth Mwanga still forcing things here for the Rafters. In the gap. And another single.
Top shot, top drawer stuff there The two are continuing to work here in tandem partnership. Divine Nyamer and Mwanga Ruth putting up their hands and getting counted. This is what you want to see. The newbies on the big stage delivering. And yes, they may not get to victory, but see what they're doing. They're continuing to make the scoreboard tick with the seniors back in the hard, and it's working. Beautiful shot down the line to end that particular over.
Somehow going back to individual brilliance, these two, Ruth Mwanga and Devane, know that they have given an opportunity to bat, so they are raising up their hands so that they get counted. Ariago Michelle now comes back to ball for the Kayakers. Nearly carries her hands, but that will go to the longer on for a single. Ruth Mwanga and Divine are still making sure that they add some runs for the Bujjagali Rafters. Swings with power but doesn't make contact. Another dot ball for Michelle Ariago. This time round, she plays it through the cover area. Immaculate Nakisui and now Mejena Mongin will see that one rest to the boundary. 4 more from Divine. Innocent, this game may get to an interesting close. 22 runs required from the last 15 balls.
Power. Fine stop in the deep. She's done very well. Namiro Mary to cut it off. The two are finding their hitting range. It's getting exciting now. Like we watched in the morning game, thinking that the Kayakers were out of it in the morning, then them surprising everyone when they chased down the 68. Same things are happening now. Rafters out of it when they lost 6 for just 40 runs. But see what happens. The partnership between the two newbies in franchise cricket are continuing to work very hard. Lona Nyait, much better now.
Yamwanga Ruth and Devane Nyamer have really played some interesting cricket, making sure that they still get runs. 97 now on board for a loss of 6 after 18. 12 balls are remaining. And now 20 runs needed for victory. Turn every over.
Easy hard. I tell you what, if they continue finding their range like this, could be easy. The skipper give the ball to in these pressure situations. Naomi Jane Amongin was saved by the skipper for this moment. But it's time for her to show what she can do. If there is a boundary of the first 2 balls, then this will get exciting. 20 required from 12. What can the Rafters do? They look like they were out of it.
Exactly 10 every over for the Rafters. Pick up victory. Naomi Jane Amongin given the ball by the skipper. The skipper going for experience. But Naomi Jane Amongin has 1 over, and so does Irene Motoni. These two, Naomi has given away just 11 runs in her 3 overs, picking up 2 wickets. Whereas Irene Motoni has given away 16 runs in her 3-over spell. Now Agent Ruth Mwanga starts off with a wide, uncalled for at this time of the game.
Going down the wire, now 19 required from 12.
Set from a place called Visakhapatnam, where India is taking on New Zealand. After the power play, New Zealand managed to score 71 for no loss, a game where India won the St. Chester field. They already sealed the series, but 2 games still remaining to play. That build up to the T20 World Cup.
Been to Visakhapatnam. You pronounce it inch perfect. One of the most beautiful grounds in India after Eden Garden in Kolkata, home of Kayakers. Big hit down the line. Does that go there for 6? Yes, it does. We are talking about a boundary here in the first 3 balls of the over. There was a wide, a dot ball, now a 6. I tell you what, the 100 does come up, and the Rafters will continue to believe.
The 100 coming up in Sale Innocent. And for the fans who are planning to go anywhere, don't go yet. This is not yet over. 13 in 10. 2 hits. Could you see the scores level? And I tell you now, the Bujjagali Rafters will have themselves to blame if they throw this one away.
What has just happened now? He's swung out to the sweeper. Nachisu is there. Good rotation of the strike. What I can just tell that has just happened now is that these 2 came together at 47 in 10, in the 11th over. To a scorecard was 47 for 6 in 10.3. After so many wickets fell, time in the air, who wants that? To land safe, Teddy Oyela will only look at it like a bird flying over her head.
So the partnership of these 2 is worth 58 runs. Good work.
They've been there and they've been binding time and playing time. And the runs finally started flowing. Mwanga Ruth, long levers, big swing, big miss. She's not afraid to play her shots. Getting contact here was important for her. She doesn't get the contact, Mwanga, because she's been trying to swing for the heavens every shot. 19 overs gone now. The scorecard is saying 106 for 6. The partnership has grown. Seven bowlers used by Janet Mbabas on the day. Without her and immaculate bowling. Guess who gets the ball for the final over? Teddy Oyela.
Teddy Oyela given the final 6 balls, 11 for victory for the Bujjagali Rafters. Would have brought Irene Morton to bowl this over.
10 runs would send us into a power play. I don't know what the playing conditions say, but she does well. They must swing with sense, not swing blindly, these 2. A boundary is very important of the next two deliveries.
Deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, long on, long off, all at the boundary. A shimmy down the track, plays it straight to Janet Mbabazi. But I could be happier to see Mwanga Ruth on strike because she's really been hitting the ball.
Very well said, Ivan. Mwanga has been the busier of the two batters. She's on 37 from 33. That is good hit down the line. Does it go to the boundary? Yes, a boundary they desire. And now the required runs move to single digits. Mwanga Ruth on fire. She moves into the 40s.
I tell you, Innocent, that was a fine, fine shot. She made a shimmy down the track, made full access to that ball and managed to hit it over the head of Lona Anyait at mid-off. The boundary will mean that only a maximum will seal victory for the Bujjagali Rafters.
Not afraid to dance down the wicket with the keeper. Jimia standing up. Mwanga Ruth goes again. Yes, there is connection. Chance for two. Do they want the two? They won't get the two. Teddy Oyera does just fine, fielding off her own bowling.
5 off 2 balls. The boundary from Divine. We'll see the levels. We'll see the scores level. And maybe push us to a spar over. Sure.
The Rafters have added another dimension to their game. If they don't get runs up the board, their middle order looks like they can get the runs. Big partnership of 50 will put a smile on the face of Jonathan Sebanja, even if they don't get victory, because he has found solutions all around the park. Edged, finest of edges. Does it run out to the boundary? Yes, they run one very quickly. They come back for the second. Drama at the very end here. Let show all happening.
Janet Mbabazi telling her troops just one thing: calm down. This is the final ball of the innings.
114 for 6. 3 needed off 1 ball for victory. Hit up and over. Does it go there to the boundary? Here's the cut and chase smiles. They run quickly. They're coming back for the third. And yes, victory is for the Rafters. The win of the final ball is all happening. Mwanga Ruth and Divine Nyamer have stolen thunder. See what has happened here. A big partnership over 50 plus. They came together at 47 for 6 in 10.3 overs. And they've been there to the very end as they won. A big victory for the Rafters, who have worked their way for this one. The Kayakers will not be 100% record. They have been stunned into silence. Lugogo is quiet, and the quiet confidence of the Rafters has won it. Look at these two newbies in franchise cricket. The selectors are watching. I tell you what, Mwanga Ruth, you could have played yourself into the setup permanently. Easy picking for player of the match award. Mwanga Ruth for half 40. And Divine Nyame, look at the bear hugs they get from their teammates. It's a job very well done. Their captain will say, yes, we didn't come to the party. Look at the smiles and the hugs from the teacher, Akiteng. All-round celebrations for the Rafters, who have now won 2 back-to-back games after losing their opener, Kevin Awino, Stefan Nampina, the Don, Malisa Riokot, all the senior players. Happy to see the newbies do the work for them. So there is a semblance of normalcy for them. Ivan Sajabi, what are your reservations and notions about the game?
What a game we've had, Innocent. Fine play there. A good partnership put by Nyamere Divine, Gabriela, and Ruth Mwanga. But somehow the Itanda Kayakers, somehow the Bujjagali Rafters will have themselves to blame. They had given away 16 extras in the first innings. But again, the Bujjagali Rafters complacency, just making sure that it helps them to get to victory. They somehow had the game, put pressure, picked up 3 wickets in the power play, but somehow in the middle, They failed to maintain the pressure on, and now it will be the Bujjagali Rafters to slide on to victory. Looking at their batting card, Mwanga Ruth unbeaten and top scoring at 42 of 35, a strike rate of 120. Many fine shots, one maximum and 4 boundaries. Nyamere define Gabriela 24 of 23, including 2 boundaries. Rastafan Nampina and Marcelo Court earlier on contributed 16 and 22 respectively for the Bujjagali Rafters. A 4 wickets victory for the Rafters this evening here at Entebbe Cricket Oval.
Ivan Sajabi will be coming through with the presentation. Do watch out on what questions in particular he will be asking Mwanga Ruth, who is the easy picking for the play of the match. She's done a fine job. She's in cloud 9 with everyone else right below her in terms of who the best was for this innings. We'll take a short break and come back through with the innings presentation. I have been happy to call this game Innocent Daula alongside Ivan Sajabi, who will be at the presentation.
Now Mejen Amongin to bowl the second over. Starts with a full one, and that is a bit edged. Chance for the wicketkeeper to catch. Jimia Mohammed sees
taking all the pace off and saying, try and sneak around the second one.
The game drifted away from your team.
Yeah, I think that we just sort of like gave out quite a number of boundaries when we didn't have to. But also, I think the way we started our batting, in my opinion, was very, very good. We had a good, decent score up until I think maybe the 14th, 15th over. Then we started losing so many wickets, and yeah, I think again, like I mentioned on the first game here, we had the same good start. We probably should have, because we had our wicket column was still, pretty good. We should have put on 140 runs on this wicket because, like I knew from game one that 110, 115, can be chased down by any of these teams because they're good batting teams. So yeah.
What do you hope to do better going into tomorrow's game?
Yeah, I think that the team did quite well in all the different aspects of the game. Just like maybe try to have some commitment on the field. I think also maybe something to do with the field setting for me there. I think that's something that I'll adjust going on because Manga did quite a good job manipulating the field, hitting quite a number of balls on the offside, and I think that's something that I will look to improve on.
Hard luck and go well.
Thank you.
That is the captain for the Itanda Kayakers, Janet Mbabazi. Now let me have the captain for the Bujjagali Rafters, Stefan Nampina. Stefan, congratulations upon the win. At the end of the innings, was there a feeling that maybe you could have given a chase onto those runs that were put on board?
Yeah, right from the toss, I said it like anything below 120 is chaseable. But somehow it felt like we couldn't chase it in the middle. But then the partnership that came at the two young girls pushed the game to the last ball. They did what we didn't expect them to do. Yeah.
You lost the first game, but you've gone on and won the two games that you've played after losing the opener. What do you hope to do better going forward in the tournament and going into tomorrow's game?
We hope to change on our fielding, work on our fielding more. We are fielding poorly. I think the girls are tired, but they still have more games to play, so they have to pick up themselves and give their all.
Thank you so much and all the best in your upcoming games.
Yeah.
Well, going to the player of match, picked up a single wicket and scored 42 of 35 unbeaten, Mwanga Ruth, and she will get a cash envelope from the development officer from the Northern Region, Grace Mtiagawa, courtesy of Scope Energy. Thank you so much, Grace. Ruth, congratulations upon winning the Player of Match award.
Thank you so much.
Well, when you came on to bat, what was the discussion between you and Divine?
Me and Divine, we just had to talk about not having pressure because when you're there inside, you just have to know that we're playing two people. And so we just had to have confidence and believe that it can all go well. Because in cricket, anything can happen.
Tell me how it feels for you winning up the Player of Match. Looking at your team, you had senior players in your team that had failed before you, but then you came and played well. What does it feel to win this award?
It feels good because we just have to believe in ourselves that even if we have national team players with us, but we learn from them and always be calm in every situation because it's all about being calm and composing yourself. That's when you can win.
Thank you so much and I wish you all the best in your upcoming games.
Thank you so much.
Well, we've come to the end of the post-match presentation. Tomorrow will be a double header for the Karma Rapids as we return again with match day 3 of the Waterfalls Women's LA Tournament here at Lugogo Cricket Oval.